Okay, I would like to show you this book, which is a collection of games, about 119 on Colle, and it was inspired by the author having one of Reinfeld, a book about this great player, in which he discovered there were a lot of mistakes. He wanted to translate the book from descriptive to algebraic, but then obviously he used Stockfish 11 or Komodo 1.1, and he discovered that Reinfeld made so many mistakes. Obviously Reinfeld is not to be blamed because the book Reinfeld wrote was 4 years or 5 years after the death of Colle. In that time Reinfeld was annotating like 500 games a year because he needed to live, to make a living, right? To put some bread on the table. And in 1946, 36 or 1940s, obviously there were no engines, right? But now you tell me, why do you buy a book like this about a player that we don't know? Well, what I love, what I really love, is not even the games that are beautiful, because chapter 1 shows a lot of miniatures, so I will show you some of them because they are enjoyable. But the reason I buy a book like this, I like to read the cross tables of the tournaments. The cross table of the tournaments, they tell the story of this player. No? They are the real biography of this player. And you see how he rise, how he went down, when he had a good performance, when things went bad. And in some cases you see also in big tournaments how poorly went for him, right? When there were some strong players at the top of their game, like Grunfeld, Spielmann, Rubinstein. We have this Merano 1924, and Colle is 7th, 8th, right? So not a good performance at all. But there are also other of these tables that tell you the story, like when Alekhine is playing. Again, once more, Rubinstein, Tartakover, all this great player, and we see that Colle doesn't fare so well against them. While there are some tournaments in which he clearly won, so I imagine how hard must have been the life of a chess player in that time, you know. And some of these tournaments are like 20 days, because if they play the game a day and they are 20 rounds, they are really killing. I don't know how many of us that play weekend tournaments would be able to play 20 games in a big tournament against this kind of people. Here you can see another of these, and this I think he did maybe not well. Also in this case, Ninzovic, Capablanca, Spielmann, Rubinstein, we see that Colle didn't do well. But the beautiful story of the tables, they tell you also when he started to go down, practically. I love historic books, biographies like this, because when they collect all the table base, you really have at a glance the life of this chess player. And so I hope you will enjoy it too. But now, in the next video, I want to show you some of the miniatures that were presented in chapter 1, and I hope you will enjoy them too.